Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be a bonus reading, and basically what I did is I came up with these questions. A while ago, I did a deeper question-based reading, and that's what this is. And I'll explain it as we go along. But basically, your first row is going to represent what you're manifesting at this time. And you have this koala spirit, it says spirit has a plan. You also have this crow spirit, it says co-create with spirit. And so clearly you are working in concert with the universe or spirit and following spirit's plan. The beautiful thing is that Queen of Swords as the first card, because I love Queen of Swords in readings or like questions like this that would involve needing clarity. So she is great clarity. And again, if you maybe you've been feeling lost, I kind of do feel that. Is it terrible? No, but it's like sometimes I feel like we can feel just a little lost, where it's like we're just kind of like a little bit unsure, or we're a little bit uncertain about the direction we're moving in life, or like what we're doing. And that's kind of like what I feel for you here, Scorpio, is that maybe there's just been like a little bit of uncertainty in your energy. And the good news is I feel like that is being corrected here. Now, each card is going to represent a different question. If you want to follow along, by the way, there is a list down below in the description. So all the questions that I'm going to be asking per card are down below. But the first card there is going to be what is being drawn to you at this time, for what you are manifesting. And again, I believe that it's pretty clear to me that you are drawing in clarity. And probably like clarity that you've been hoping for, or just better guidance on like what actions you need to take. She's even looking over to this Emperor here. So again, if you've been unsure about like what your next step should be in life, or what next steps you should be taking, I do feel, again, we're asking what is being drawn in for you right now, and I feel kind of like your next step, which is a good thing. And I think this is going to lead to a lot of clarity and guidance for you as well here, Scorpio. So I love to see it. And I feel like it's going to feel very good. And by the way, these readings are meant to be timeless for whenever you're watching them. Next, we are going to look at how this manifestation will be showing up, or will it surprise you at this time. You have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like you're done with something, plain and simple. I feel like a very matter-of-fact energy with this Seven of Pentacles here, Scorpio. I think you're manifesting like this clarity because you're just done with something in your life. You're just like ready for the next step. I'm not getting much, right, on this Seven of Pentacles. Normally, with the Seven of Pentacles, I would say, is the juice worth the squeeze? Because he's kind of looking at these Seven Pentacles, and he's saying, would it be worth it for me to continue to invest my time, effort, energy into these Seven Pentacles? Or is there something better I can do with my time? And again, I can't answer that question for you. You have to be the one to answer that question. But I feel that for a lot of you, that you could be kind of like getting a lot of clarity, or you could be, seeing something more clearly with the Seven of Pentacles. And obviously that would be a good thing as well. I also feel that, it's like sometimes, I don't know how to say this the right way, Scorpio, so bear with me. But it's like sometimes I think we mature in life, obviously. And it's like maybe we realize that we're like wasting our time on some things and not others. And it's like when we realize that, then we can focus on things that are more important, and then our life gets better, right? And I kind of feel these two cards are basically saying that, is that maybe you have finally realized like what's wasting your time and what's not a waste of time. And this is just going to lead to some general improvements. Next, we're going to look at how can you more quickly align with this manifestation, and you have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is actually pretty simple as far as an action is concerned. The card itself says we have to focus on our strengths, not our weaknesses, so that is definitely the first thing that I would do with this Five of Pentacles, is focus on your strengths. I would also believe that you deserve good things in life and you deserve clarity. On top of that, I do feel this card is saying don't be afraid of asking for help. Sometimes I feel that with the Five of Pentacles, that it says there are people or guides or mentors that want to help you in life, and all you have to do is ask. So, don't be afraid to ask for help with clarity if you need clarity in life. Because again, that seems to me like what you are manifesting is just clarity on your next step. But it looks very, very good, Scorpio. Here you go. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords. Whenever a card repeats itself, it's basically the universe saying I meant what I said. So there you go. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords can represent taking a risk or needing to take some sort of risk in your life. So yeah, I mean, don't be afraid of stepping out of a comfort zone. Don't be afraid of don't be afraid to take some sort of risk to move in a new direction if that's what you're wanting to do here. With the Five of Swords, yeah, I mean, the Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. Five of Swords can just say that you're taking a risk to change directions in your life. It definitely looks like there's some sort of change. I mean, you have the Tower, you have the Two of Swords and the Six of Swords right here going this way. So I feel a lot of you are it's like you're in a time of great change, like much greater than normal. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So again, whenever cards repeat themselves, it's basically the universe saying I meant what I said. So I feel like the universe is kind of like guiding you in a new direction with those two cards. Next, we're going to look at what is blocking you, if anything, at this time. And you have this, what blockages you're dealing with. You have this card, it says it is what it is. You have this willing release card. So if you are feeling blocked, or if you are feeling any blockages at this time, then clearly there's something that you probably need to release at this time. It could be a belief, it could be an idea, it could be your just anything in your life in general that you need to release with these two cards. So I do feel for some of you that, this could just be like a belief that you need to release right now that you're having. And so, yeah, don't be afraid to, release anything that you feel has been holding you back. I also kind of feel like you need to try more things is popping into my head here. And you do have the Two of Swords. So sometimes I think with the Two of Swords that we are just, it's like we're only seeing one way of doing things, basically, when there are many. She's thinking that she only has two options when she has that third option behind her. And so I kind of do feel these two cards are saying that something that would help you with any blockages that you're experiencing at this time would be being open to other solutions, right? Next, we're going to look at what limiting belief or situation is in the way of you right now. And you have the Emperor, probably thinking that you're not strong enough or that you're not capable of doing something. But really, just intuitively, what's popping into my head here is I feel that this is believing that there's a lack of opportunity, and so I would be very careful of that, because I think that there are many more opportunities than you realize, and I would take advantage of that at this time. Is like any opportunities that exist. I also I would be careful of getting too far ahead of yourself. Again, it's like it's like I have some people in my YouTube group that are worried about AI. For example, right? I'm just giving you an example here. And they've kind of been feeling like, what's the point of creating content when AI is going to ruin everything? And I'm like, well, number one, that could be true. That might not be true, but it's definitely not true right now. And so it's like, you need to do what you can with what you got right now. And I kind of feel the Emperor saying that. It's like, yeah, be careful of worrying too much in the future or about the future. Be careful of worrying too much about the past right now, Scorpio. It's almost like this card is asking you to be neutral. You have the Justice card at the end. It's saying don't just assume something is going to go one way or the other. It's like, do what you can with what you got right now, because that will serve you best. And I feel like that's what this card is really saying. Next, we're going to look at how did this block form, or why is it continuing? You have the Sun. The Sun would say that this blockage happened because of your attention, right? Plain and simple. Again, when we pay attention to things, we make them happen more. A simple fact of law of attraction, or whatever you want to call it, right? So the Sun says we have a choice. We can choose to focus on what is, which really actually we've been doing for hundreds of years, and I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's working too well, right? But I think we need to start focusing on how we want things to be, right? The thing that focuses us the most has been the news for many, many years, right? The news, if they say if it bleeds, it leads, right? So why do you think horrible things happen? Because that's what our focus has been drawn to for many, many years with the news, right? And I'm not saying these things aren't important, these issues that are happening, but I don't know. Again, it's kind of like a little bit of insanity. We've been trying it for a long time, and it doesn't seem to be working. So maybe we should try something else. Maybe we should try focusing on the positive more. And that's what I feel like you need to do here with this blockage that you could be feeling. Next, we are going to look at what's your way through or around this blockage, and you have you showing up here. of course, Scorpio. So I think that using your own self to overcome this blockage or these blockages or challenges, using your inner voice or your inner power, it could help you. I also think that just believing that things can be different or believing that things can change is going to help you the most. I also do just feel just a general message here that some of you are getting, like, it's like you're seeing the way out. This right here, this white rose represents like the light at the end of a tunnel. So a lot of you, it's almost like the universe is just showing you a way out is kind of what I feel here. I really don't have anything else to add. I think that in a lot of ways you could just literally be seeing the way out of something. Again, obviously that would be a good thing with that card. With the Emperor, you have the Knight of Cups showing up here. So the Knight of Cups is needing to dream bigger. That's not really what it means, but that's what I'm getting intuitively, is that I think it's almost like the universe is saying you need to believe that there's a bigger opportunity. It's like maybe you think to yourself that you can only make $100 a day. And it's like, well, maybe the universe is saying like, no, Scorpio is meant to make $10,000 a day. And you might be saying, Chris, you have lost your damn mind if you think I can make $10,000 a day. But you know what? Guess what? There are people who do it. There are plenty of people, I'm sure, more than you would think, that make $10,000 a day, right? And so I feel like it's time for you to kind of believe in the impossible a little bit, and to really shoot for the stars, shoot for the next freaking galaxy, not even the stars that exist in this one. I think this is almost asking you to dream dream of the impossible, because you might surprise yourself at how close you can get. Next, with this blockage with the Sun, you have the Devil. So again, definitely needing to release your attention. The Devil is something that has control over you. And so, again, paying attention to a blockage literally could be stealing energy from you. And, the Devil wants us to release anything that is an energy vampire. So I would release these things that are stealing energy from you, because I think that's what will help the most. With the Death card, you have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups can be a card of following your heart. So I do feel it would be a good time for you to follow your heart at this time. I also feel that it would, your heart is trying to guide you towards something. If your heart isn't in something, I wouldn't force yourself to do it. But if your heart is into something that you want to do, I would do it with that card. Next, we're going to look at what are you being redirected to at this time, if anything. And you have this Spirit World card. It says your spirit guides are sending you helpful people and opportunities your way. You have this Koala Spirit that says Spirit has a plan. You have this Crow Spirit that says co-create with Spirit. Clearly, you are being directed, or you are being redirected in life to a more spiritual life. Now, that does not mean, again, I think one thing I think about spiritual people is that spiritual people already are too spiritual. And you might be saying, what the hell are you talking about? Well, it's like, number one, I believe that we are spirit here on earth having a human experience. We are not here to have a spiritual experience. I don't think there's anything wrong with being spiritual, but I do think people can be too spiritual, right? Because we are here to have a human experience. We're not here to be in the 5D. It always cracks me up when I see spiritual teachers and stuff being like, oh, we're entering into the 5D and all this other stuff. I'm like, well, we spend a lot of time there already. It's like we are more dead, which is actually alive, I believe. I believe being dead is actually being alive more, right? It's like we spend more time there than you probably even realize as having a human experience here. So I think we can be too spiritual, but I definitely think you're being led to the spiritual. You have this Lone Wolf card. It says, listen to your inner wolf and embrace your sacred wild nature that thirsts for freedom. I think the universe is kind of trying to get you to trust yourself more here, Scorpio. It's almost like this part of the reading is saying to me that the universe is wanting you to believe in yourself more, wanting you to believe that you're more capable than you think you are. All that stuff is kind of, popping into my head with these two cards. Next, we are going to look at what part of your path is closing or becoming unstable, and you have the Tower. I actually think this is good, Scorpio, because for the past 2 years, you've been getting this Tower with me almost every single reading. The Tower is your card, which is great. And, so even though it's a challenging card, it still puts you in a position of power and strength. And yes, the Death card is also your card. But the Tower card, I feel that what's going on here is that you're starting to wake up almost, is the feeling I get. We have the lightning bolt that's hitting the top of the tower. So I kind of feel that you are being redirected in life. The answer to the question, are you being redirected, is yes. I feel the universe is trying to get you to wake up to escaping the matrix, basically, with the Tower. The whole point of the Tower is that these people have been ignoring reality, and now they're being forced down to reality. They're being forced to see reality for what it actually is. So they're coming back down to reality. And a lot of you could be kind of seeing reality for what it actually is at this time. You have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords can represent like taking a risk or needing to take a risk at this time. We are going to, this part of the reading, we're looking at what is the real opportunity that's opening up for you in this redirection. And the Five of Swords would be about you taking a risk to move in a new direction, which we already know because we have the Tower, Two of Swords, Six of Swords. This, even going this way, would be you kind of like moving off onto that third place, that new island. So I do feel a lot of you are about to change your life in a significant way. I think I said this at the beginning of the reading, that your reading is definitely a significant change reading. So I feel like you're just changing. Next, we are going to look at why is this redirection ultimately in your favor, and you have the Knight of Pentacles. More fertile fields. I literally said this to someone else as well, but it is popping into my head. I do feel, I kind of just got to chill thinking about that, because I do feel this is the time that we're in, even though maybe it doesn't look like it. It might look like there is a lot of restriction in the world, and or there's more restriction, and all these things, but really I feel that we're being led to more abundance and more opportunity, and that's what we need to realize. He has these empty fields behind him, and if he just were to plant seeds in those fields, they would grow, right? So he has everything he needs to be very successful, but he just needs to take action to, get that growth, and that's what I feel for you here, Scorpio. With the Tower, you have the Nine of Swords. I do feel like some of you, it's like something has to end. We have the Devil to the Nine of Swords in the Tower. The Nine of Swords is kind of like Groundhog's Day. It's like waking up, having a nightmare, and then, or it's like having a nightmare, waking up, and being stuck in the nightmare. And so the Nine of Swords, the problem with the Nine of Swords is that he's not doing anything to change his situation. He's just staying stuck in the bed. The whole point of the card is that he's in pain, but he's not in enough pain to make a change. The Tower says you can change whenever you want. The Tower is not a bad card, no matter what anyone says. The Tower is just entering into a new reality. So a lot of you could be just choosing to enter into some sort of new reality in your life, or to have like a new reality, and it's like you're just making that choice, and that's kind of what I feel there. With the Five of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands. Again, I think that there could be a spark that's coming in for you. We have the lightning bolt at the top of the Tower. The Ace of Wands can be like a spark of inspiration or a spark of hope, right? And it's also out with the old and with the new. So I do feel you're being redirected towards a new path for sure at this time. I feel like it's going to be a path with a lot of growth, which is good. The Ace of Wands can represent something that has the potential to grow very well. And again, you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is all about growth. So definitely very positive. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Hangman. I have a feeling everybody's going to get the Hangman in this set of readings, because we are in a time of new perspectives. This is very Uranus and Gemini. Why do you think I'm doing these readings at this moment? It's like a great time to try something different from a new perspective. I just wanted to see what would happen if I did like a main question with deeper questions into what we're reading about, right? Let me know what you think in the comments, right? And I kind of did readings like this, but this is a little bit deeper. So let me know what you think. But, again, I kind of feel like doing things from a new perspective, or just, upgrading what you're doing, trying something new, really, really good idea at this time here, Scorpio. Next, we're going to look at what message does your future self have for you at this time. And you have this question card. It says surroundings, guides, and circumstances. You also have this death card that says letting go, transformation, and rebirth. Definitely a very significant change reading for you, Scorpio, for sure. So I feel like your future self wants you to know that you are in a transition time. I also feel that literally your future self is saying that if you have questions, it will answer. Like your future self, your higher self, your guides have answers for you, but you just have to ask, right? And I also think you have to trust the when you get confirmation. It's like sometimes I think people ask a question and they'll see 222 on the clock or something like that, and then they'll think to themselves, was that a synchronicity or did I just see it? It's like don't question it if you see it. It's like sometimes I think people ask for signs and the universe is like, I've been giving you signs all day long. A bird pooped on your shoulder. You saw 222 on the clock. You literally saw a sign on the side of the road that said yes. how many more signs do you need, right? And that is popping into my head, with this card. So I would be, thinking about that for sure. If you ask for a sign and you get one, that's it. Next, you have the Two of Swords. We are going to look at what do you need to stop repeating from the past. The Two of Swords would be thinking that you're stuck or hopeless, right? It's not really a card of hopelessness, but I read intuitively, and that's kind of what's popping into my head with this card, is that, again, she's thinking like this or that, but really she has a new option behind her here, and she needs to move in that new direction. So I definitely feel that for you, Scorpio. Like, there could be a new direction that you could be moving in, heading towards this island, basically behind you. And I feel like this is saying, like, whenever you feel boxed in or whenever you feel trapped, this is what your higher self is saying to me, to you. Whenever you feel boxed in or trapped, you're not. There's another way out. You are a scorpion. I don't know if you've ever seen a scorpion in the wild, right? But I have flipped over some rocks in my day. I was a nerd, and a bug nerd when I was a kid, right? And you can find scorpions in places that you don't think are possible. Like, how the hell did a scorpion get under this rock where there's like, it is perfectly sealed? Like, I've literally seen scorpions under rocks where it's like you would think there's no way for them to get under it, and they do. So I think that is you, Scorpio. I think you need to realize that no matter what, you are not boxed into a corner ever, and the universe will always give you a way out. Next, we're going to look at what advice would your future self give to you right now. And you have the Seven of Swords, which makes perfect sense with the Two of Swords, the Tower, all this. Seven of Swords is a good card. Seven of Swords is a card that can represent going to war, but in a different way, right? He is stealing these swords from this army in the background. So instead of going to war, he is stealing those swords to avoid war. And so a lot of you, it's like the universe wants you to know that there might be a better way around something or to get out of something. I feel like the universe wants you to know that you there are, again, much more flexible solutions to the problems that you have, or anything that you're dealing with, but not even problems. Like, this can be a good card. This is a card of tactics. It can say things could be going well, but you can also discover a way to make things even better, right? And so I feel the Seven of Swords is just saying there are many ways to do the things you want to do. As long as you're being tactical, things will go very well. I also feel like your future self is saying it's not a time to be too serious. He has these polka dots on his cloak. Polka dots in the tarot can represent taking something too seriously and needing to be more playful. And I almost never say that, but it is popping into my head. I feel like the universe wants you to be more playful. I feel like the universe wants you to have more fun and like do more of the things that you enjoy in life, and like all that other good stuff. Scorpio is popping into my head with this card. So yeah, I that's it. I would have more fun, enjoy yourself more, all that. Next, we're going to look at what part of your life will change the most if you follow this advice. And you have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is kind of like leveling up. And that's what I feel here in this situation. Because the Hierophant, he has these 3 levels to his crown on his head here. And the 3 levels represent initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery. So a lot of you, I feel like what's going to change the most if you, follow this advice is that you are going to level up to the next level in your life. You are literally probably going to get to that mastery step in your life. I also feel that all 3 of these cards in some way kind of say, think outside the box. Two of Swords, again, she's thinking this or that, but she has that 3rd place behind her. Seven of Swords, he's going to war, but in a different way. Hierophant is sitting on his soapbox right here, right? And so I think in a lot of ways that really this row is just saying that thinking outside the box is what it's trying to teach you, and being more of an outside the box thinker will probably just lead to a lot more success. With the Two of Swords, you have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, Nine of Cups is like a wish, of course. I think the universe is trying to get you to learn how to match the energy of what you want. The Nine of Cups is about alignment. And so I feel for a lot of you that getting into alignment is what this card is asking you to do, plain and simple. With the Two of Swords, you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about being adventurous and going on adventures, and also like finding new ways of doing things. It's almost like, I almost feel like your future self is encouraging you to get messy. It's almost like it's encouraging you to make mistakes on purpose, right? And you might be saying, oh my God, that is a bad thing. And if that's what you're saying, then this is exactly for you, right? Again, nothing good comes from basically doing what works all the time, right? It's like people who are the most successful in life, they've made a bunch of mistakes, they have learned from those mistakes, and they develop new ways of doing things. It's almost like this part of the reading, it's like your future self is saying, it's time for Scorpio to innovate their life. It's time for Scorpio to, take advantage of Pluto and Aquarius, which is all about innovation, because that's what will lead to that exceptional life for you, Scorpio. With the Hierophant, you have the Temperance card. I think that this is also about you realizing that you can change. Remember what I said about the scorpion under the rock. I don't really know where I was going with that, but it's almost like you are this part of the reading, your future self is saying, no matter what, you are not stuck, even if it feels like you're stuck at times, right? And I'm also not saying that you haven't been stuck before, but I feel like it's almost like this part of the reading, it's like your future self is trying to help you develop your confidence. It's like your future self is saying, I believe in you. I know what you're capable of. I have seen it. I'm speaking as your future self here. And it's like your future self is saying, you, believe it or not, can get out of any situation. And you have the power to create great change. Temperance card is alchemy. It's turning something into gold, right? It's almost like your future self is saying, if you really believe that you can turn anything into gold and you can get out of situations, things that you didn't think possible, then you will be able to create more gold in your life. I have no clue what I just said, but there you go. Next, we're going to look at who's thinking of you, or does anyone have their eye on you at this time. So this is going to be love. Even if you don't want love, this will be about something that you could love. You have the Clover and the Book. These are two very good cards. So number one, I don't really see anything about love here, but that, obviously this is a general reading, even though we're looking at love. This could just say that maybe you're hiding from love. Maybe you're living under a rock right now, Scorpio, which is perfectly fine. So there is a little bit of love here, though. You have the Emperor, the Knight of Cups in the reading and everything like that. I'm wondering, it's like I don't try to force a reading to say something it's not saying, right? And so even though I'm labeling each one of these rows and each card has a specific thing that it's going to represent, if I don't feel it, I don't feel it. So I don't even necessarily think this is about love, but what I would say is that maybe the advice here is something that will lead to love, so I would still pay attention from the love perspective. The Book is closed on the Book card. This can represent hidden or secret information. The Clover literally represents luck, and so I feel that this could say that you are in a time of great research where you need to do your research, basically. The Book, again, can represent hidden or secret information that can lead to a significant change in your life. But you have to do your research, basically. So it's like any area of your life where you're hoping to grow or be more lucky, I would literally go read a book about it or go research it more, because that is probably where you're going to get the best answer with this card. And that's what I would do there. Next, we are going to look at what their current energy is towards you. Again, I don't necessarily see a person here. So you have the Six of Swords and the Four of Swords. Six of Swords can be moving on to calmer shores, and these two came out together. Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. Number one, if you do want love, I do feel that it's almost like you're being prepared for a person. Again, it's kind of a weird row, because I really don't think it's talking about love for the most part, although there is a little bit of advice that I want to give you if you do want love. And even if you don't, again, number one, research anything, including love, right? With that Book and the Clover, I think there's a lot of luck there. Number two, I think that with these two cards, that it's almost like, you could be making changes in your life and they're making changes in their life. I see this more as like two people who are being prepared for each other. So again, it's almost as if this person isn't here yet. It's like two people being prepared for each other. You're being prepared. They're being prepared. You'll come together in the future. And that's kind of the feeling I get there. Next, in the area of what do they wish they could say, again, you have the Strength card, which would say be patient. And so, but again, that does not mean that you shouldn't be like dating or anything like that right now, Scorpio. So again, I would like live your life. I feel, this feels like a future person to me, and I would just continue to live your life. I would continue working on yourself as well, which I think you are doing with this Strength card. I feel all of you could do this, whether you want love or not, doesn't matter. I think working on yourself would be great. You have the Justice card in the area of what's likely to happen between the two of you, and the Justice card would be balance. The Justice card is also kind of like fairness as well. So again, I wouldn't rush right into anything, is what this reading is saying to me. These so far, we're going to clarify, but I think that this right here is saying it would be much better for you to enter into something in the future from a prepared perspective, meaning that you've healed, that you have more of a neutral feeling about love with the Justice card, and you're just kind of willing to see how things go. So it's almost like non-attachment, and I think that's what will help you the most in love, if you want it. With the Six of Swords and the Four of Swords, you have the Strength card. I feel like both people are being very patient right now, so it's almost like if you want love and you don't have it, that you're just kind of like working on yourself, which I think is probably the best thing you could do, and really would probably attract love into your life faster. Like, the more you work on yourself, the more likely it is that your counterpart is going to be a person who is working on themselves and who's improving, right? So there you go. With the Strength card, you have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles like equal give and take. And so, again, you could be attracting a person where there will be a lot of equal give and take between the two of you, which is very good. I also feel good about this because Six of Pentacles is my card of the first step, and you definitely could be attracting a person who's like getting ready to take that first step. So I don't think you'll be waiting long. It's like there's this isn't saying love to me necessarily. It's like more preparation for love, like I already said. So I feel like that's what is going on here. But I do feel like someone is getting ready to take a step. With the Justice card, you have the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is amazing. King of Pentacles is a person who wants something long-term. I really like the King of Pentacles in love because usually it's a person who's very serious. So, again, the King of Pentacles can be a little slow as well. So it's kind of funny that it's like a very slow type of thing going on here. But you could be attracting an Earth sign. Definitely could be a Taurus. You have both Taurus cards here. Hierophant and the King of Pentacles are both Taurus. So, it could, you have Capricorn, could be any sign, general reading, but definitely could be an Earth sign that you're attracting in the future. I'm pretty sure you've had an Earth sign, a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus showing up in your readings for a while, for a long while, Scorpio. So, really wouldn't surprise me. Still not here yet, but, being prepared. I think the more you prepare, like if you want this to happen faster, again, I would heal yourself, work on yourself with that Strength card, believe in yourself more, work on your loving yourself more, all those things, because that's what's going to help you the most with that card. But pretty good reading here, Scorpio. So thank you for being here, and definitely let me know what you think of this type of reading, and definitely enjoy your month.